So, are you paying for Netflix Premium, and do you ever get that little feeling wondering if you're actually getting what you're paying for? Or maybe, just maybe, you could be saving some cash with a different plan. It's a question a lot of us have, and today we are going to get you a clear answer. All right, let's just dive right in and break down the two main ad-free plans, Standard and Premium. With Standard, you're looking at about 18 bucks a month. That gets you 1080p HD on two screens at the same time. But if you jump up to Premium for about $25, you get 4K on four screens plus something called spatial audio. So, right off the bat, we're talking about a $7 difference.
And that really is the big question, isn't it? Is that extra $7 a month actually making your movie night better? Or are you maybe just paying for fancy features that your current setup can't even use?
To figure that out, we've got to unpack what Netflix is actually promising with that top tier plan. What are these premium features even supposed to do? Okay, first up, the number one reason people upgrade 4K Ultra HD. On paper, this sounds incredible, right? We're talking 4 times the number of pixels as standard 1080p HD. That's supposed to give you this amazingly sharp, super detailed picture. It's the best of the best that Netflix has to offer. And then there's this thing called Netflix Spatial Audio. Now, this is some pretty cool tech. The whole idea is to give you this immersive, cinematic sound experience. But get this, it works with just the normal stereo speakers on your device or any old pair of headphones. No fancy home theater system needed. And yeah, it's another one of those perks you only get with the premium plan.
But, and this is a big but, here's where things get a little complicated. Here is the absolute most important takeaway. Just because you pay for premium, that doesn't automatically mean you're watching in 4K. There are actually a few hoops you have to jump through first.
You see, to actually get that beautiful 4K stream, your entire setup has to be on the same page. Of course, it starts with a 4K TV or monitor, but that's not all. You need a pretty fast and stable internet connection. We're talking at least 25 megabits per second. And if you're plugging something into your TV, both the HDMI port and the cable have to be HDCP 2.2 certified. Oh, and for all you PC watchers out there, there's one more little thing. You have to install something called the HEVC video extension. And speaking of watching on a computer, this is where things get really, really interesting. If you're like me and you just assume you're getting 4K on that nice monitor you have, well, you're definitely going to want to see this next part. Okay, check this out because this is wild. It turns out that the web browser you use makes a massive difference. If you're watching on Chrome or Firefox, two of the biggest browsers in the world, Netflix caps your quality at 720p. No joke, that is not even full HD. If you want to actually get the 4K stream you're paying for on a PC, you have to use either the Microsoft Edge browser or the official Netflix app from the Windows Store. So at this point, you're probably wondering, well, what am I actually getting? The good news is you don't have to guess. There's actually a hidden menu that will tell you everything. So here's a little trick for you. Next time you're watching Netflix in your browser, just press this key combination. On Windows, it's Control-Alt-Shift-D, and on a Mac, it's Control-Shift-Option-D. A little overlay is going to pop up with a ton of nerdy data. Just look for the line that says resolution, and it will tell you, plain as day, the exact quality you're streaming. Feel free to pause and give it a try right now. All right, so maybe you did the test and you saw you are getting a 4K stream. Awesome. But what if it still looks a little fuzzy or blocky? Well, that brings us to a much bigger debate in the streaming world, and it's all about the difference between resolution and something called bitrate. Here's a simple way to think about it. Resolution, that 4K number, that's like the size of a bucket. A 4K bucket is huge, but bitrate, that's how much water you're actually putting into the bucket and how fast. If you have a really low bitrate, you're just trickling a tiny stream of water into that giant bucket. The end result? The picture can still look compressed and messy, especially in scenes with a lot of action. It's all about how much data Netflix is dedicating to each second of video. Now, on the audio side, Netflix is really confident. They've put out statements saying that their high-quality audio is perceptually transparent. That's just a really technical way of saying that it's so good, your ears literally can't tell the difference between their audio stream and the perfect original version from the studio. But when we talk about video quality, a lot of people feel differently. This quote from a user on the website Flat Panels HD really just says it all. They feel like even on a small screen, the video is a blurry mess. And this is that whole bitrate problem in a nutshell. They're getting the big 4K bucket, but they feel like the water, the actual video data, just isn't enough to make a clean, sharp picture. Okay, so after all of that, what's the verdict? How do you actually pick the right plan? Let's just cut through all the noise and make a simple guide to help you figure out what's actually the best value for you. So you should definitely go for the premium plan if you've got a 4K TV and you've checked to make sure your whole setup, your cables, ports, all of it can handle it. It's also a good choice if you have a nice sound system or really want that spatial audio, or if you've got a big family and you need to stream on more than 2 screens at once. And finally, if you're just someone who wants the absolute best quality possible, no matter what. On the other hand, you should probably just stick with the standard plan and save yourself that $7 a month if you do most of your watching on a laptop, a tablet, or your phone. If you're a Chrome or Firefox user on your computer, you're not getting 4K anyway, so why pay for it? And you know what? If 1080p HG looks perfectly good to you, then standard is for sure the smarter, more practical choice.
So there you have it. It turns out it's not just about what you're paying for, it's about what your own gear can actually show you. Now that you know the rules of the game, take a look at your setup, take a look at your bell, and ask yourself, is it time to make a change?